We have been working really hard on our nonfiction books, and today we will edit our work so that we can make sure our pieces are first grade material. So we need to make sure we're looking at the correct checklist. So here I am in Google Classroom. I'm going to click on literacy resources, and this yellow checklist that says copy of informative writing, that's the one that we want. And so let's go over this. And this is the same checklist that was used for our how-to. So we need to have a lead. Have you ever wondered or have you ever wanted to know about? That's your lead. Our transitions, for example, another, also, first, next, last, finally. Having an ending, saying now you know all about, or now you know everything about. And making sure it's organized. This elaboration and craft putting, it says I put facts in my writing to teach about my topic and I use labels and words to give facts. If you remember to go to our writing notebook, hit present. Gonna go to that orange tab, nonfiction, and this we want how can I teach my readers? So if you remember, you're thinking about what questions might your readers have. If you're giving an example, like a definition of something, you could do a twin sentence. So like if your expert word, remember the word that you bold is, let's say, extinct. You could say like the dinosaurs became extinct, period. Extinct means they're no longer around. You can use size and shape and color to give more information. So my book is about monkeys, so I can talk about some monkeys are orange, some are small. Like I can talk about if I'm giving an example of a monkey and I'm trying to describe what that monkey looks like, that would be great for here. Making comparisons, kind of like I made that comparison with my blobfish and how they look like boogers. Give examples. And in my monkey book, I have lots of examples. I'm giving examples of places that you can find monkeys. I'm also giving examples of food that they eat. And I've even used big, bold words. And when you're a nonfiction writer, you are choosing to bold a word because either it's an expert word or it's a very, very important word for your reader to know. So when you're doing that elaboration and craft, I really, really want you to look here to get some examples of how you can build that elaboration. So let's go back to our checklist. And we also need to make sure we're spelling our words correctly. That is sight words, and making sure we say it, slide it, hear it, write it. So we have all of our sounds. We have punctuation, periods, exclamation points, question marks where they're appropriate. Capitalize the first letter in every sentence, and of course names. And then don't forget commas. Anytime you're listing things, like I have a list of places and a list of food, you have to put a comma after every item. All right, so I'm going to be looking over this checklist while I am revising my first grade piece. So the first thing that I'm checking is for a lead. And so what I need you to do when you're checking for your lead, would you grab a orange colored pencil or a crayon, and when you find that lead, and it should be at the very beginning of your story, you're going to underline it. Now remember, our lead is have you ever wondered about, or have you ever wanted to learn about, something like that, and you want to underline that lead. Well, this book will teach you all about them. Okay, so if you don't have a lead, let's say you forgot, you're still going to take that orange colored pencil and you would just put a caret right here, that little pointed part, and that's where you would write up here, have you ever wondered about, and whatever your topic is. okay? So it's really important that when we are proving that we have that lead by using that orange colored pencil or a crayon to underline or write in if we forgot it. Our next step is to find our transitions. So remember that would be next, first, last, finally, all that good stuff. What you want to do is you want to take a yellow colored pencil or crayon, and when you find those transitions, just like you did with that lead, you need to prove it by underlining. So I have first, I have next, and I put finally for my last transition. Okay, so it's really important that we are proving that we have these things. Now I'm looking for an ending, and that's in blue, so grab that blue colored pencil. And remember, our ending should be now you know all about, and it should also come at the very end of your story. And here's mine. So I'm just gonna underline to prove that I have this ending. And once again, if you don't have an ending or you don't have those transitions or whatever it is that you forgot, just put that caret in the blue color and then write it in. Next up is organization. So just making sure that I'm writing across more than one page. So you should always have your lead and first transition on the first page. And I actually didn't number my pages, so I'm gonna have to put that in purple. And then next transition is on your second page. And if you remembered, unlike me, to put in your numbers, just underline where you have those page numbers. And then that third page should have your last transition and your ending. So that's how we structure this. So I'm going to put 3. And now with this pinky color, you want to underline anytime you were using those craft moves, anytime you were giving definitions, bold words, examples, comparisons, any of those craft moves you need to underline. You need at least one craft move per story, okay? Now I have 2, so here I say, first, monkeys live in different places. Now this next sentence here is a craft move. This is where I'm giving you an example. So I'm gonna underline it in this pink color. It says you can find them in Costa Rica, Ecuador, and many more places. I think I want to change that to other places too. Next, they are active. There's no craft move here. I'm not giving any examples, definitions, so I can't prove any of that. If I wanted to add something in here, I definitely could. Like I could give another example, and in my next sentence I could say they play, they swing, they climb, but I'm just gonna leave it as is because I only need at least 1 and I put in 2, so I feel pretty confident. Finally, monkeys have a healthy diet. Oh, wait a minute. I'm so sorry, I do have a craft move here. I have a bold word, so I am going to bold it out with my color. So I remember this is a big bold word. This is a craft move. Can't believe I forgot that. Finally, monkeys have a healthy diet. This bold word is another craft move. Remember, authors are bolding words if they are either expert words or really important to know when learning about that topic. And then right here is my example. Some eat bananas and flowers, while others, like the squirrel monkey, this should just be squirrel monkey. I'm gonna cross this off. Helps to reread. Eat insects. So these are the examples of the diet. I could have also done a twin sentence and gave a definition of what a diet is, and diets are just what you eat. So I have quite a few options here. Last but not least, we want to make sure that we are capitalizing correctly and having punctuation at the end. So that's where you're going to, and you might remember this from kindergarten, but red light for punctuation, green light for capitalization. And this also works if you capitalize a letter that shouldn't have been capitalized. So let's say like this D right here was a capital, I would just take this green and make it a lowercase. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I have capitals at the beginning of every sentence. Have you ever wondered about monkeys? Question mark. Well, this should be a capital. This book will teach you all about them. Period. So my next letter should be capitalized first. And here's comma. It's really important that with our transitions we put a comma. Monkeys live in different places. Period. This should be a capital. You can find them and Costa Rica is a name of a place, so that needs to be capitalized. Comma, because this is a list. Ecuador. Ecuador is a place, it needs to be capitalized. Comma, and many more places. Exclamation point. Next. Remember, we need that comma with our transition. They are active. Period. Starting with a capital. Finally, don't forget your comma because that's a transition. Monkeys have a healthy diet. Period. Capital. Some eat bananas and flowers, while others, like squirrel monkey. Oh, I guess I was right with squirrel monkeys. I'm just going to put this back. Goodness gracious. While others, like squirrel monkeys, eat insects. Period. Capital. Now you know all about monkeys. And I put a period here, but I actually want to change that to an exclamation point. So, when you are revising your piece, make sure you are going through that checklist and proving it with the correct colors and underlining or adding it in if you forgot.